A brood of four, a rough colony on the edge of human-controlled space, a retirement home for Soul Force veterans from all branches of service. But peace is not their fate. A deadly plague breaks out, ravaging the few established cities of Brood of Four and turning its population into twisted, horrible ghouls. There is no cure in human science. The last desperate hope is a rumor of an ancient alien facility built by the Solka and hidden behind the savage Feldspar Mountains. If the pit is there, and if you can survive exploring it, you might find the source of this plague and have a chance at finding a cure. Maybe it's real. Maybe it's just another tall tale they tell on the rim of known space. You can't be sure of anything. Except the fact that every expedition into those mountains has failed to return. And nothing creates death better than the Solka. Hey everybody, welcome to another Let's Playthrough with me, your host Tim. And I occasionally play this game. It's been a while since I played it regularly, but I figured, you know what, I'm playing it enough to warrant recording a little bit of it, and maybe I'll upload some of this occasionally, like I do for Armageddon's Empire. So, basically this will be an ongoing series every so often. So, what is this game? So, some prep. Obviously I just said that I play the game a lot, or rather, I used to play the game a lot. I haven't played it since some of the expansions came out. This is a roguelike, dungeon crawl game. And it's similar to other roguelikes, other than instead of fantasy with spells and magic, this will be futuristic with assault shotguns and psychic powers and what have you. We'll get to choose between several different characters that come with the game, and we'll have to climb down, I think it's like 40 levels of a dungeon to get to the end and find out what happens. Now, I've never beaten the game, ever. In the year or two I think I've owned this game. In addition, the game's gotten significantly tougher with the release of all the DLC. Since there's no option to turn certain bits of it on or off, this introduced a great deal of variety in the types of equipment you can have, which makes it somewhat more difficult, I find, for me to actually get through the game. That said, I still like the game. I think it's a lot of fun, and we're gonna play it together. So I'm not gonna do the tutorial because it will take a bit to do. And I can probably just explain to you the game as we play it, and you'll get to see it instead of listening to the tutorial. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and hit start, and we're gonna start a new game. Although I guess I should cover this really quick. So high scores. You can see, I guess this is what other people... Is this what I have done? Maybe this is what I have done. Okay, maybe... Alright, I think maybe this is... Yeah, this is maybe what I have done with all my people. But options, let's take a quick peek at them. I think I'm fine with all this stuff. Enable TV mode. TV mode? I don't know what does that do? Oh, nothing apparently. I'm sorry, this is the first time I'm actually kind of seeing this. We have... Oh, I can change the resolution? Can I change it? No. Okay, well, this is all fine. Alright, back to the main menu. Fine with the keys the way they are. A SotS decks. This is where we have all the different monster types that I've encountered in the game and so on. We'll go over this a little bit when we start the actual game. It also lists any of the recipes we discovered to craft different equipment and weapons we found, so we can take a look and see how much damage they do and any lore that's along with it, and so on. Tutorial, we're going to skip it, and let's just start a new game. Wow, I apologize, everyone. That was a little bit wordy. We didn't need to do that. Let's go ahead and play normal. I should really play on easy, because I haven't even beaten the game once yet, and I've heard it's probably a good thing to do, but we're going to play normal anyway, just because I'm an average guy. Alright, so we get a choice of what floor to start, because I've made it up to floor 10. As you've seen, I've actually made it to floor 25. But then I got the DLC, and I deleted that character, because I wanted to try all the new DLC, and I haven't made it past floor, like, 12 so far. So, expect me to die a lot in this game, and hopefully if you've played this game, you can give me some tips, or if you notice I'm doing something a little incorrect, or could you be doing something better, as it were, like my skill chain could be different, let me know. Not that there is skill chains in the game, but a skill rotation. Basically, if you see something that could use improvement, tell me, please, because I could definitely use the help. So we're at the entrance, and we get a choice of one of several characters to pick. So we're going to actually pick one. We're going to pick the Scout to start, because she's pretty decent. I actually think she's one of my more favorite characters to play, because she gets a ton of skill points when she levels up. She's kind of weak in that she starts with not a good deal of equipment, so she's going to be relying on finding useful things as we go through the game. That said, I still really like the Scout. She needs some work in the might department when we begin, and you'll probably see me going crazy to increase might up to 50 at the very start of the game. Other than that, though, I think I'm pretty happy with her. So let's go ahead and start, and let's read her lore really quick. So this is Toshiko Hoshinara, is a pilot in the Soul Force Scout Corps. Her twin sister Tamiko disappeared while doing classified research on Arbuda 4. As a trained scout, Toshiko is fast and has high finesse, good brains, and average might. She has light combat skills and some basic training in technology and medical skills. Let's go ahead and hit next. And they changed it since I first started the game. We now start out here in the cold. So we have to find our way into the pit. So let's go over what we see on the screen so far. So first off, we can see that I'm outside. This will change to indicate the floor I am on when we're not outside. This is how many moments I have taken in the game. A moment, I believe, consists of all of the actions my hero can take. Your hero basically can take, well, a certain number of movement, which is located up here. I can move 2 spaces, and then my moment ends, and then all the enemies will move. I can also, instead of moving, perform an action, such as attacking with my, or rather, I can move and perform an action, or just perform an action. So, for example, I could move a space and then use my knife, and then my turn would be over, and then the computer would move all the units on the screen. Alternatively, I could just stand still and use a knife, in which case my turn would end, even though I haven't moved at all, and then the computer moves everything on the screen. Got it? This is a quick little thing to get to the SotS dex, which stands for Sword of the Stars something. I don't know what the dex stands for. We're a scout level 1. This will fill up as we kill things, like this bat right here. This is our psi points for our psychic powers. This is our food. This will decrease. This is basically a timer in the game. You'll starve to death if ever this reaches 0. This is your health. When this reaches 0, you are dead. We have our character sheet. It indicates our health, how much spirits we have, psi points, etc., etc. We can take a look at the individual stats. I can go over these really quick. Might affects our carry weight, our ability to recover from poisons and diseases, and our hit points. Finesse is our ability to dodge creatures' attacks. I don't know what percentage that is. And our ability to hit things with ranged combat. Brains is our ability to successfully use the vast majority of miscellaneous labs or computer systems we find in the game. Power relates to our power pool, our psi points, and affects our psionic abilities in some way. These skills all have symbols, which you can see down here on the skills. This means that, hey, this skill, which is finesse, is impacting our lockpick somehow. Our skills are split into several different types, as you can see here, with a base value on the left and a modified value on the right. The modified value consists of any bonuses gained through your stat points and any equipment you may have equipped that affects it. Your base skills can be improved naturally up to 45. Once you hit 45, you will be forced to spend skill points in them if you want to see any other improvement. We'll get a chance to see that later. There are some exceptions to this, in that all the psionic abilities always have a chance to be improved whenever they are used. I do not know the percentage of that, however. We can see our inventory here as well. So we have equipped a flak jacket. Let's take a look at this. So we can see it has 80 durability. As we go through combat, this is going to take damage, and then as it reaches closer to 0, it will eventually lose it. It has an armor rating of 40. I wish I could tell you what that means. As I know higher is better, I do not know exactly how this impacts the amount of damage I take. We have a Dura knife. This is a pretty decent weapon, which we'll be using against anything which is kind of strongish. We have a pistol. We'll be using this against anything that is strong in the upper levels. We need to find better weapons as soon as possible, or we're not going to survive the lower areas of this game. We start with 5 food rations, which as you see restore 80 food to us. We have 120 pistol rounds, which are used for our pistol. Let's look at the pistol really quick. So we need a finesse of 25 to use it. We have an accuracy of 40, higher is better. And this has durability too. Every time you fire it, there's a chance for the durability to go down. Once it reaches 0, the weapon is destroyed. I do not believe a lower durability affects the damage, accuracy rating of weapons in any way. Some items also have this slot called a biomod. We'll be able to find randomly colored modifications which we can put into our weapons or armor, depending upon how many mod slots they have. These will affect the weapon or armor in some way by either increasing or decreasing its effectiveness. You'll need to identify these mods to know what they are or use them to find out the hard way. We have lockpick sets, we have 2 of them. This is how we're going to break into weapon containers at the start of the game. We have 2 terrain medkits, which can be used to heal us. We have 2, it looks like, frag grenades. These are a massive AoE, doing a good amount of damage with a huge amount of penetration. And we have stun grenades, which have a chance to basically stun enemies, reducing their chance to hit and reducing their movement total, allowing us to get away from them, or allowing us to hopefully hit them without being retaliated against in turn. Our inventory size is based on our strength. Every 10 points, we'll see another row unlocked, or I think over here on the side. These buttons are filters, so you can zoom in, zone in on certain items, food, tools, health kits. This basically lets you resize. This says drop everything I possess. Okay, so we've gone over the inventory, we've gone over this. You saw me put some hotkeys up here really quick. I dropped the knife and my gun on hotkey 1 and 2. You can have hotkeys up to 1 and 4 for equipment. You can also cycle the tab key in order to, it will cycle automatically through all your equipment. You also defaultly have a punch, which I hope you like punching, because we're going to be doing that a lot in the upper levels. Finally, we have all these psychic powers. What's my character's name again? I forget what her name is. I can't remember what her name is. But she actually is interesting because she starts with no special powers, but 10 in everything. So with a little bit of work, we can get Psi Shield, which we're definitely going to want to take. We'll probably also want to take Life Sense at the very least, and or Mecha Sense. Actually, Mecha Sense would probably be very helpful to have. These are all very useful skills. And, well, they're all useful, but we won't have the skill points to actually take them all. So let's actually start playing the game now that I've rambled on for like 10 minutes. So here we go. So I see a rabbit over here, a snow rabbit. Actually, let's look at these creatures really quick. So we see a snow rabbit. Where are you, snow rabbit?
Snow rabbit.
So it's got 1 point of armor, 4 movement speed, so they're pretty quick. They're worth 5 experience points. A life form native to Arbuda 4's colder climates. Completely harmless. Indeed, it won't even attack us. But it's a good thing for us to run up to it and try to kill it, because it has a chance to drop some food. And we see this creature over here, which is an ice bat, I believe. Let's take a look at the ice bat really quick. So that would be over here.
Ice bat.
So 4 through 6 health, no armor, 3 movement speed, so they're kind of quick. There are 20 experience points, and they'll attack once. They can attack once during their turn. A flying hunter native to the region that makes a home in mountain caves. Now, we can also there's 3 zoom in levels here. We have really zoomed in, average, and really zoomed out. So I tend to play on this level, which is the medium one, just because that looks a little better. All right, let's make our way over to the rabbit. That ice bat saw me, which is why it made a sound and started moving. So it should start moving toward me. There we go. Let's move over here, and then we'll start hitting it. So as you see, we have facing. We cannot see anything behind me in that cone. Turning requires no moment or actions for us to do so. We can instantly just turn around, and it's a good idea to do so. Let's start punching this bat in the face. As you can see, there we go, we won! We punch it to bits, we get 90 experience points, bat is dead, and now we can keep walking toward this rabbit and punch it in its butt. Take that. Got it. And we drop some food. All creatures, to my knowledge, have a chance to drop something. What they drop, it's kind of weird, because I would really have hoped that the SotS decks would tell me what the creatures drop, but it doesn't. So you have to kind of just know what creatures drop. These snow rabbits seem to have a high chance of dropping some raw meat. So if we go to our SotS decks, and we go to items, we can go to raw meat.
Raw meat.
It tells us what it's used for the various ingredients that we have. But it doesn't tell us where it drops from, unfortunately. We'll go over recipes when we actually make it to a crafting station, assuming that's the case. Another rabbit. Let's kill it. Thank you, Mr. Rabbit. And the way down isn't over here, just a bunch of rocks. Let's head up this way. There's the entrance, but before we head down there, we want to make sure there's no more rabbits out here. And doesn't look like there is. Okay, let's head on down. The levels are all procedurally generated. They're all randomly created, which is great because, obviously, well, it's a new experience each time you go into it. Though I do wish there was a way to save the seed, such that I could replay the same level again and again if I really wanted to. Okay, so here we are. We're finally in the pit. Most of the game will now look like this, not the outside area to my knowledge. I think the outside area was a one-time only thing, which is kind of neat that they added a little bit of theme to this. So we see a creature right in front of us. What is this creature? This is a rock rat.
Ice bats.
So I apologize, everyone, because if you watch any of my games, you know that I love lore and reading stuff and so on. So Here's a rock rat. He's kind of weak, 2 to 4 life. By the way, the deeper down we go, the more life creatures will have. I don't think rock rats will have 2 to 4 life in the lower levels. They'll begin having more and more and so on. They have 2 movement, 15 experience points, 1 attack per moment. They only have a small bite, and they're an organic creature. Small scavenger, approximately a half a meter long, with razor-sharp teeth that inhabits the local mountain range. Let's punch it. Okay, nice. Now, we're going to do something which is a bit odd. We're going to unequip our flak jacket. So we're not wearing any armor. So why, Tim, you're asking, why are you unequipping your armor? Well, because generally nothing in the upper levels is going to give us too much trouble. The upper levels being between 1 and 4, or 1 and 3, I think. So if we take any real damage, the armor's going to not block too much of it. Like a rat's going to do the same amount of damage, basically, no matter what. See, we got hit by 2 points of damage before, and now we just took 1. So having the armor equipped doesn't really do us any favors at the early parts of the game. Okay, see those creatures dripping blood? It's wounded. It moves. It can't move as quickly, and there may be combat penalties, but I'm unsure. Let's kill it. Alright, bunch of bats dead. We didn't get anything from any of those creatures. Now, whenever we level up completely, I can choose to spend the points, like I'll hit a certain button and that'll happen, and then we automatically cover all our health and all our side points when we do that. So, you can use leveling up strategically to heal yourself in tight situations. I usually try to wait to level up, with the exception of floor 1, until I've gone down a floor, since you'll see it's very dangerous going from down to a new level. Okay, so there are various things in the game that we can search. This is a rot pile. As you play the game, you'll begin to realize what certain things have in them. Rot piles have a good chance to find either some ammo or some cheap food items within it, like rotted food or whatnot. And believe it or not, rotted food is very helpful for us, so we're going to search it. So we can see that trying to search this rot pile with a foraging skill of 51 will give us an 84% chance of successfully searching it.
All in the wrist.
And we succeeded. We found 12 pistol rounds. Nice. We could definitely use those. And let's continue on. We can't search the rock pile anymore. We do have a map, by the way. I don't know if I showed that, but here it is. We can see everything that I guess within a certain line of sight. As you can see, we have line of sight, so we can't see what's around here. Learning what creatures make what sounds is very important in this game. You can pass a turn by hitting the X button, in which case your character won't move at all. Or rather, your character will end their current turn. Still catching up with me. Still let him catch up with me.
That's right.
Bindings. Small strips of sinew, vital to tying things together. I find that bindings are one of the most important things to get. They're used to craft weapons and various food supplies, as well as all sorts of like lockpicks to grenades. We want lots of bindings. Moldy bread. It restores 20 food. What was once delicious bread now is rotting and riddled with mold. Eat at your own risk. We definitely want it, though. We can use it for crafting to make antibiotics, and we can use it to make actually food which is completely edible through the magic of science. Oh no! Okay, this is a rabbit bat.
Rock rat. Rabid bat.
So they're fast, just as fast as normal ice bats are. They're worth more experience points. They have more attacks, and more importantly, this ice bat has been infected by a disease reminiscent of rabies, making the creature highly dangerous. This creature, when it hits us, will have a chance to infect us with the disease. So, with a might skill of 40, we might not be able to get rid of the disease very easily, like through natural rest. So we definitely want to kill this. There we go. We leveled up. Let's go ahead and spend this point right now. So, when we level up, as you see, we immediately recover all the hit points. As you can see, we didn't lose any experience points. We just didn't see how much is carried over from the previous level. We gained 1 stat point to spend. We're definitely going to be working on might to start. I want to pick this up to 50. Then we'll work on brains to 60, and then probably finesse or power a little bit. We also gained 8 skill points. Now, the character you are using differs. Like, the Marine gains 3 stat points and 4 skill points. The Engineer gains 2 stat points and 6 skill points. Skills require 1 to 2 points to level up. Here's how that works. Your psionic skills will always only cost you 1 skill point to level it up a bit. Your other skills, everything else that's higher than these ones that have this symbol on them, will take 1 point if you used it before you leveled up. If you didn't use it, it will cost you 2 points to level up the skill a bit instead. So for example, we shot our pistol to kill that bat, and after we did so, we leveled up. It now costs us 1 pistol point. I'm sorry, 1 point to level our pistol again, if we want to level it. The same thing with foraging, which should be, which is 43. We can spend a point to level it 1. Melee as well can go to 43 up to a higher level because we've been beating things with our fists. However, everything else looks like we didn't use it at all, so it will cost us 2 points. It's always in your best interests, assuming you can, to spend 1 point, not 2, and to hold on to points for other times in which these will be 1 point, not 2. So we're definitely going to take pistol up a level. And when you put a point into something, you spend a skill point, you gain between 1 and 3 points in that skill. Completely random. You don't know how much you're going to get, to my knowledge. We'll pick a point in melee. I'm not going to put a point in foraging because I'm hoping to level that up the last 2 points before I put a point in it. I'm going to take a point in resistance and a point in mecha empathy. And I'm going to hold on to my other 4 points. Okay, let's keep exploring. Zool infant swarms.
Rabid bat.
Let's go take a look at these guys really quick.
Zool infant
Oh,
swarm.
Zool, not Zol. Zool infant swarms. A swarm of newborn Zool. They will seek to ravenously devour anything organic they encounter. They have 5 hit points and 10 armor, so they're pretty nasty. Nasty's the wrong word. They can take a pounding, basically. But we're still better off using our fist against them. Oh, by the way, all these creatures and whatnot, there's a awesome 4X game called Sword of the Stars that this lore is based on. So these guys are from the Zool. Oh, I still have the pistol equipped. They grow up to be pups that grow up to be these hulking humanoid creatures. Another rat. Let's try to kill it.
Ew. Another trophy.
Scent gland. A potent oh, I can't pronounce it. A potent gland. There we go. Smelly gland. This is actually very useful. It can be used to make taunt bombs, and it can also be used to make pungent meat, which is actually pretty good for you.
Oh,
I saw you, rat. I'll get you.
got you.
As you can see, she says all sorts of cool one-liners as well whenever she kills things occasionally. Yes, more rot piles. 90% chance. There we go. By the way, see that? Foraging skill upgraded? And we found some ice gems. This is a type of fruit that's out here. So, whenever you successfully use a non-combat skill to perform a task, if your skill was under 45, it will always go up a point. Non-combat skill. And non-psionic skill. And your base level. So one more time. So, for example, our foraging was 43. We successfully used it to search that pile. We gained a point. Combat skills are random, as are our psionic skills. They have a chance to level up whenever you use them. Weapon skills are limited still, however, to being 45, at which point they must spend points to level them up. So our pistol, for example, will never level up despite how many times we use it, because the default, our base level is 50. However, our assault weapon is 10, so if we find like a rifle, we'll be able to use it. And we'll be using it anyway, and when we're using it, we have a chance to level it up, which is really nice. I'm sorry, not a rifle, an assault, well, take a look at the weapons, because there's a weapon called an assault rifle, which is an assault weapon, not a rifle weapon. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Okay. Now our skill should be 45? For our foraging? Yes, 45. So, I'm going to level a point now. We need 2 more points for it. Let's go ahead and try it on this rock pile now. And you'll note that we should not get a level up. Yep. It's now higher than 45. That's right, it's 45 and higher. We will no longer receive points for leveling that skill up. So what is foraging? Foraging is used, first off, to obviously search these rock piles. And later on, some toolkits, I think, or chests can also be searched using it directly. Foraging also affects the amount of stuff you find whenever you successfully search anything. So it's always in our interest to level foraging up to maybe at least like 55. What's this thing? This is new. We haven't seen this before. This is a Makos clump.
Zool infant swarm.
Looks like a floating mushroom, though, doesn't it? Where is it?
Makose clump.
Makose clump. The Makose are a fungi-based life form, existing as tiny spores that can merge together when threatened. This clump represents a basic form of Makose, so basically like Men of War. So we're gonna move up here, and then stab it. Again.
Another trophy.
Then we're gonna punch this rat. I don't want everything to hit me at once. It's a lot of things. Bunch of gland. Thought there was one more rat. Yep, there is. There you are. Got him. There's some ruined crates here. We could stand still and punch them for a long time to try to raise some of our skills, but we'll lose food. There's been, or at least used to be able to do this before the DLC came out, and I don't know if it's worth doing so anymore. I don't really know if it was worth doing it to begin with, in all honesty. By the way, for the DLCs, I own all of them, so you'll see creatures and recipes from each of the DLCs. So I really like this game. And I like the company that makes them. Cerebus, I think? More Zool swarms. These guys to death. More ice gems. Some raw meat in that pile of filth. Can't wait to eat it. Nothing. Okay, it's great. We failed that check. So, in that case, we get no experience points, and we find nothing from it. Different characters obviously have different percentages. They start with different skill levels here. The Marine, I feel, is one of the toughest to use, because while he starts with good gear, good hit points, and I guess a decent gun, he unfortunately has really low skills, and it's difficult for him to succeed at any tasks that require, basically anything that requires lockpicking or foraging for a bit. So he fails so many of his checks. It becomes somewhat frustrating to search things with him. Bone slivers. Thin but strong shards of animal bone. These are used for making improvised lockpicks and this like razor fist item I wouldn't mind having, which will make our melee better. Hey, wow, a mutagen serum. Holy crap. So, this serum can mutate the body in powerful ways. Maybe something good. Maybe something bad. You won't know for sure until you identify it or try it. So, we can use this item, and a random thing will happen to us. We'll either gain some points, like we'll gain a few points in brains or might, or we could lose points in brains or might, or finesse, or what have you. We might gain a bonus to a skill. We might gain increased metabolism, allowing us not to require food as often. But we might have the reverse effect occur too. I am huge on not using serums until I have an identification item on me.
I'm a genius.
Rotten cheese. A chunk of rotting cheese, risky to eat. Yeah, rotting food has a chance to disease you, I think, or poison you, if you do eat it. And we found the way down. Perfect. And a Hyper multi-tool, holy crap! A highly adaptive tool that can aid in a variety of electronic and mechanical tasks. Using it drains power, so it will be eventually needed to be recharged at a charging hub. Nice. Oh, these items over here, see those little green bars? That's how many times you can use the item before it either has to be discarded, in the case of med kits or lockpick sets, or the Hyper multi-tool, which will just have empty green bars, which means it can be recharged. Now, this level, again to my knowledge, is the only one that looks like a cave. We're about to go into the actual pit. Okay, welcome to the actual now pit levels. They'll start to look more and more scientific, labby. Sorry, soda. The deeper we go, we're gonna find lots of these. This is a door. This one's open. Doors can be locked. We can shut them. Certain creatures will not be able to open doors. A rat can't open a door. Neither can a bat, for example. Other creatures can open doors, such as Jaeger beasts, or some other strange creatures that you wouldn't think would open the door. Some creatures, like bears, will break down doors if they're shut on them instead of trying to open them. Keep that in mind. Now, we have a cool looking thing over here, a status pantry. Let's look at it really quick. Our computer skill's 21. We got an 18% chance to successfully drop the field. So, we're not going to give it a shot right away. I'd like to explore over here. Some doors like these ones, do you see this weird symbol? It looks like a barrel to me. This means, to my knowledge, I think this is hinting that this room is a storage room. As we proceed through the game, we're going to have to make some choices as to whether or not we really want to open certain doors to explore certain rooms, because we'll hear all sorts of nasty things in there, and maybe we don't need the food as much as we think we do. The fight might not be worth it whatsoever. And you see that creature? This is a mutant rock rat.
Precose Club. Mutant rock rat.
They have 10 armor, so they're about as armored as the Zool swarms. 25 experience, and they have a small bite. A rock rat exposed to mutagens from the Bloodweaver's experiments. Beware, it's poisonous bite. Yeah, I really wish the SotS decks also told you what status effects these creatures would put on you. This guy's poisonous, so I don't really like messing around with him, at least not on this character. But we'll try it a little bit. We'll look with the knife. Oh, something else, by the way. Watch what the rock rat does. Notice how it doesn't want to be seen by us. There we go. Certain creatures have different attack patterns. The rock rat wants to ambush us, so it's trying to stay out of line of sight, and then will move in to attack us once it can do so.
Ow!
And I'm poisoned, so this is not what I wanted to have happen. The good news is that we just started this, so if we should die, well, then so be it. Alright, so we see a light weapons locker over here. Now, as you can see, we're losing might. If our might gets reduced to 0, we die. Leveling up will not cure the poison, and I have nothing that will cure it on me. Let's go ahead and use the hybrid multi-tool so we can open this mechanical locker. Nope, we failed to do so. Okay, so that's excellent. The poison got cured for us. Let's try opening it even with a 16% chance. I'm someone that can take the risk. Nope. Okay, so we were unable to do that as well. Okay, I said to me what this is. Do you see the color around this symbol? This indicates a door trap of some sort. Door traps, just like mutagens and other weapon mods, are completely random each time you play the game. So we don't know what this one does. If we want to find out what this door trap does, we're going to have to walk through it. Not all door traps are bad. Some door traps are good. Some can heal you. Some can restore your psi points. Some will recharge items you have in your equipment. Others damage you, drain your psi points entirely, or delete a random item stored on your character. Let's go ahead and get this room explored. As you can see, you also need to reload your weapons. I'm going to kind of use my dagger on these creatures now instead of using my gun. Switch to the dagger. Got him. Ah, our Duracell knife was just damaged. I still need to use it against those types of creatures, though. Wow, there's so many things around here. It's not uncommon for this to happen a lot. You get swamped by all sorts of different things all at once. Like, you can be doing absolutely fine, and then suddenly you're doing really poorly. Well, let's spend our level up. So that will heal us all the way. Let's spend some points in this stuff. So 1, again, in resistance. 1 in mecha empathy, just to keep hammering on those. Let's put a point in might again. And what do we earn points here? Pistol, I definitely want. Knife, we'll take a point in knife. Foraging, melee. And that's it. I'm going to wait to put points in everything else until I get a success on it. Let's try our 80% chance of success on this. There could be really anything in the weapons in this locker here. Hey, a ballistic repair kit. Awesome. A kit containing parts and tools needed to maintain a ballistic weapons, like our auto pistol here. So now we have a way to repair it. It repairs it at 69% efficiency with 5 charges. So what that means is that if our weapon had 1 durability left, we get it back up to about, what, like 19? 19 point something? 20 point something? Looks like one of these batch-dropped antibodies. This is an ingredient, a veil of advanced supercells that can bolster an organism's resistance to disease. We can use antibodies along with moldy bread to make aggressive antibiotics, which can heal us. Which can cure diseases. So, let's do something really kind of dangerous here. We're going to walk through this door. Before I do so, I'm going to drop a small handful of this stuff. Let's walk through it. Okay, we now know forever, for the rest of this character's adventure, in this dungeon, what the pink door trap does. This drains our psi. I really should have walked through that door before I spent my level up. That was really dumb of me, because then it would have instantly covered my psi points. But since we can't spend psi anyway, we have no means to do so, we'll be okay. We do recover psi slowly over time, same with life. Speaking of stuff recovering, we're actually losing some food, so let's eat this food pellet. And these Soul Force rations. Standard high-protein human military ration. A meal ready to eat. That's meals ready to eat. MREs. Eat this as well. That's looking pretty good, I guess. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, let's explore this room. Just a normal rat. We'll punch it to death. Doing a little more damage now, too. This room's completely empty. Oh my god! That's a lot of mutant rats. Oh, because we dropped these items, we lost them from our hotkeys. Oh! That was a huge mistake. Okay, well, let's just wait. Punch it. I want to punch it. There you go. Let's go, mutant rat. Up you go.
They're fast.
Oh, poisoned again. Okay, well, we should be okay. Looks like we were able to resist the last one at an okay level. Oh, I don't like scorpions, though. We'll try stabbing it, though. I have a hunch this would be a mistake. We should actually look what this is. This is a stinger? Hold on. This. Yes! A poison gland and some other bindings.
Mutant rock rat.
That was a stinger? Where are you?
Stinger.
15 armor, 8 through 10 health, with more experience points, a little bit of movement. They have a knife and small claws? Okay. Tiny scorpion-like animal with a dangerous poison sting. So basically they can stab us with their sting or claw at us with their claws. That must be what the knife says. Hey, nice. Okay. Yeah, I definitely should be sticking with my dagger more often. An egg! Okay. Delicious and nutritious. Just don't ask what it's from. That's probably good advice. This, I think, stands for a dormitory. We can find all sorts of things in here. There should usually be a bed in here, though. I think you can rest in a bed, and I mean, you can rest not in a bed as well, and it will allow you to recover some points faster. Poisoned again. I don't know what makes a creature decide if they're going to move or not. I think the smarter the creature, the more likely it is to do things to you. And by that, I mean, like, it'll move around to get into a better position and whatnot. We're still poisoned. Let's see, what is this? We don't know what this purple thing is. We're going to drop our gear again. These items I don't really want to lose. I actually should have dropped this and this, as well as this. Why am I dropping these? Because if this is an item that can destroy things, I don't want to lose these things in particular. Oh, I hate you, autocannon. Decreases my speed by 50% for 30 rounds. So there is a sentry gun outside. It hit us a bit, but that's okay. We're not too badly hurt. Sorry, I'm big on sorting all my gear. Okay, let's open some of this stuff up. Basically, we're slowed now, so we went from 2 movement to 1 movement. It doesn't affect our ability to do combat, however, in any way, to my knowledge. Wow, we're down 4 points in might. We can pry this open, looks like, without any trouble. Kilt-rich grubs and soul force rations. Actually, how do you pronounce this? Kirch?
Stinger. Raw meat.
Raw meat. Kirch. What is this? Kirch something. How do I pronounce you?
Courage. Grubs.
Kirch grubs. Small protein-rich dirt grubs raised as a delicacy by Hiver, loved by Tarka and Morigi, mostly held in disgust by humans. We can't... I don't think we can eat them? Oh, we can eat them for 20 food, but that's going to be nasty. We're just going to hold on to them. We need more points of computer. Hey, nice, our skill upgraded though. Yes, there was a small chance our skill will upgrade anyway.